What's going on, everybody? Let's see if I can get a few people on here real quick to update you guys. A lot of people are getting burnt out. What's up, man? What's up, Ryan? A lot of people are getting burnt out with the whole out in the streets and out in the communities and stuff protesting. I noticed, good evening. I noticed the last few days there have been a ton of news reports with people that are exposing the churches that are working with these government facilities, and people that are exposing these churches are showing that a lot of these churches are working with the government directly. And there's a bunch of churches and stuff that are actually paying and getting people on buses and shipped all over the United States. There's a lot of people involved with this whole scheme thing, but it seems that every video that I was seeing, there was somebody receiving immigrants, there was somebody receiving human beings off of buses and stuff like that, and it was people that were directing and escorting them to locations. And the churches are heavily involved with the money that's being moved around. They're heavily involved with their affiliate groups and stuff like that that end up trying to find locations and stuff for a lot of the illegals to live. I've seen a ton of churches. There's actually a article that I'd love to share with you guys, but I can't get it right now. It's maybe I'll post it in the community chat. It's from Prosperity on Newsbreak, and she talks about like 16, 17 different churches that obviously have red flags going on right now. And when you start paying attention to what's going on and you start seeing how deep everything is, you realize that it's not just your politicians involved. It's a lot of the churches with their handouts as well. Hands sticking out, gimme, and I'll take care of the rest. Gimme, and I'll house them here in my church or in my building or my facilities, or I'll find locations for them. Or we'll do the dirty work for you, and we'll put them on buses and transport them around where they need to go and make sure they get taken care of. Yeah. So a lot of people aren't paying attention to that. Thank you for sharing your story. You've seen the Lucas Underwood podcast? If you are on Spotify and you go to Lucas Underwood, you'll see like episode 142 or episode 143 or something like that. You can see my story as an adult and as a kid. I was able to sit down and tell my story with them. Or if you go to the Change in the Industry podcast, it's called the Changing the Industry podcast. Here on YouTube, you can actually see the video where it records me and everything, as well as I'm telling my story and my struggle and how I got to where I'm at today. Tomorrow, tomorrow at City Hall, there is going to be a meeting on the second floor at 10 a.m. I think you got to be there early if you want to speak. I think you have to be signed up by like 9:45 or something like that. On the west side of the building, there's a police officer that's typically guarding the elevator, and you got to go in that elevator to the second floor to get to the City Hall meeting. And I think it's the aldermen from the 9th, 15th, and the 17th ward that are going to be there. And the only discussion that's going to be happening at 10 a.m. is whether or not Chicago needs to stay a sanctuary city. They are going to talk about everything that's going on, and the 9th, the 15th, and the 17th ward, I think, is what the affidavit said, or the signed official letterhead said, that they are going to communicate specifically on whether or not the status of Chicago sanctuary city should change. That could be huge tomorrow if somebody, if they vote in favor of, it's just too much. It's too much chaos. It's too much, it's putting us into too much debt. It's turning people against us. Good evening, Rich. Watching you from Padre Island, Texas. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure, man. Cobra, I'm sure. I wish I was in Padre. Oh, Mason, you miss my hugs? I used to work with this guy at the dealership right here, and that's his papa and his son's account, I think. And I used to I used to go up to the guys at work and hug them and stuff like that, especially Anthony. I have a serious side to me, and I can be a butthead sometimes, but for the most part, I'm a big teddy bear, and I do really care about people. And I would just, it would be somebody random. I'd be like, "Hey, man, give me a hug," or go up to somebody and just, "Come here, let's hug." You got two guys with beards and stuff like that right next to each other, hugging it out or whatever. Hope you have a better day, man. That's just kind of how me and Anthony are two big old teddy bears. So tomorrow at 10 a.m. in Chicago at City Hall, there's, like I said, there's a meeting, and I'm pretty sure it was the 9th, the 15th, and the 17th Ward aldermen. There was one more on the paper, but somehow it got scratched out. I don't think that alderman is going to attend, so it'll be three, and it's a conversation and topic on whether or not Chicago should stay as a sanctuary city. The FU crew. Yeah, I met him and his better half today. Really nice people. Thanks for coming in and saying hi to me. I really appreciate you guys. Yeah, they should do that. But if they separate Chicago from the rest of Illinois, then they have to change the way the whole electoral college is. And a lot of people are like, that's not going to happen. And I really think it would be better off if they did do that, though. Rich, what do you believe will happen? I mean, do you believe people of Chicago are fed up enough yet? You know, people are creatures of people like doing the same thing over and over again. People don't like change theoretically, and generally people don't like change. They're not okay with change, and there's a lot of change going on right now, and there's a lot of uncertainty and stuff for people in this. And when you hear stuff like sleeper cells and migrants taking over Western civilization and crushing the way our freedoms and stuff are brought to us and the way we do things and stuff here, it makes people unsettled. And people that were used to be very peaceful, that had no hostility in them at all, that would never talk about protesting or any kind of aggression, are now being aggressive with what they have to say and how they think and how they're communicating. Um, I think if it can stay, it's hard to say this. I don't know. There's so many things going through my head where I don't have a direct answer for it. You know, um, the Venezuelans took over the basketball courts where I go, and we cannot play basketball anymore because they play soccer full court. It's normal, Brian. They're going to be doing that all over the place. That's what they do. They're they're they can't do anything, man. I mean, we can't do anything. Um, Dear boss, hello. I was born in 1920, and I've seen many changes in this America. It's very difficult now, as I was. Alas, alas, I did not want to say. I did want to say thank you for standing up. I just think it's one of those situations where if I'm not doing something, I'm not saying something, I'm not making a noise. I know the governor knows who I am. I know the mayor knows who I am. I know people in political stature and stuff know who I am now. And I know that I've made a lot of noise, a lot of noise, to the point where the news stations looked at me dead in my face and said, "You've got so many subscribers, you probably get more views than we do, basically." So I'm I become a threat to them because they don't want to hear me, they don't want to see me. They're scared of me, and I can make a lot of noise sometimes, and that's what they don't want right now. And that's what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make as much noise as I possibly can so everybody knows what's going on. Even people that used to feel uncomfortable hearing about it before now sit and listen. Um, it's one of those situations where what's the answer? You know, you said there are people fed up? Do you think they're going to do something about it? The only way that we can do anything about this is if everybody goes down to the border and just locks the border down and does their part in standing on the border with Texans, Arizona, New Mexico, Louisiana, everybody down there, the whole area, just everybody come together in a giant and be like, you know what? It's time. It's shift change time. We're all going to stand here and this cannot continue going on anymore. You're not coming in. And it has to be some kind of organized thing where this eventually needs to take place because the government's not going to do it. Our politicians are not going to do it. Even, they closed that one checkpoint down in Arizona and it made a huge difference, they said. Well, why wouldn't you close them all then? Because the government's not letting them do that. That's the only way this is going to change if you stop the people coming in. That's the only way it's going to change. And people don't understand that. But what happens when you get together and you go try to stop this from happening? You overstep your boundaries with law enforcement and the military, and now you become a threat to them, and now they have to try to react. Yeah, we all get thrown in jail. So we have to try to figure out what is the next step. The next step is either voting to make sure it doesn't happen again, or it's making enough noise at City Hall and showing up in groups of people, thousands of people, making people feel uncomfortable to the point where they realize how serious people are. That's the only way I see anything being done is it has to be such a presence that the media picks it up, that a news station can't turn it down, that the whole world gets to see a Berlin type movement where there's thousands of people all together fighting for the same cause, protesting for the same cause, to scare these people into our people are not going to take it. It's the only thing I can see happening right now. Or voting. That's it. You wouldn't like me as a vegan gem. You wouldn't like me as a leader. I switched over to the carnivore diet 4 days ago, and I don't eat. I eat all meat, fat, and mushrooms, and I've lost like 11 pounds in the last 4 days just on staying away from all sugars and carbs and just eating basically all meat and mushrooms and water and taking my vitamins. So you wouldn't like me. Okay. I mean, that's where we need to be at right now. Is we need to be worrying about losing our country, and that's exactly what's going on. 60639. 60639. Where's that? I know that. It's not. It's not Naperville, right? Or what's going on? North side. North side, like by Rogers Park, like Western Devon area, 60639. Is that right? Pulaski and Fullerton. So it's not over by Western Devon. Fullerton, Western, that's Peterson. Keep going. 60639. Why do I know that area? I had some kind of dealings over there. Yeah, 60630. You're right. Um, um, I am in the Alsip area. Let's just leave it that way. I am where my business is right off California and Archer. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with that area. Well, because I'm in the streets and I'm not afraid to tell people about what's going on. So, um, it's kind of one of those things where I see them every day. These people are they're they're Uber delivery people or whatever it is. The Grubhub delivery people. They're delivering for like Advanced Auto Parts and stuff, and O'Reilly and whoever else may be short on staff, and then they end up doing some kind of delivery service. And a lot of these people that are here illegally are driving cars and stuff, and they found their way somehow onto the apps, and they got bank accounts and stuff, and they're one way or another they're making money. They figure out a way. I saw a town car in the drive-through, the trunk open, and three kids ran out. Yeah, I agree, Jeff. But it's you know, when you look at the amount of people coming from Venezuela, though 28 million, it sure seems like they're going to be emptying out pretty quick. But those people are going to end up here. That's the problem. Cobra, if I came down there, would you be able to show me around? If I came down there for like live video footage to see what's going on, could you take me to places where I would get the action that I need to put on the internet so people can see what's going on? Yeah, they're all doing the smash and grab stuff. They're getting away with it too. The police are saying they can't do nothing to them. They got to let them go because they're by the time they get enough shirts and pants and stuff on, they're ready to run out. They haven't stole more than $1,000 worth of stuff, so they don't get arrested. Yeah, Oak Brook is getting hit hard out there because you would think that they have stricter rules and stuff out there, but these people are seeing them as weak out in the suburbs. They're just hitting them left and right. Chicago Democrats gonna wake up? Oh, the Chicago Democrats are pissed right now. They woke up, man. They you know, I don't really think it's a wake up thing. I think it's more of a okay, you've showed me now how you really are. Now I have to make a decision on what's best for my family and my community. And if you notice a lot about the Democratic Party is they've been promising things for a really, really, really long time. And the conservatives too, but not I don't find it as bad. From the Conservative Party, I'm not looking for handouts or people to come really change things all that much in our communities. We have to be willing to do that ourselves. What I look for from the Conservative Party is more job opportunities, better 401ks, people making more money, trying to bring more of that to the table. And, the war stuff, the economic struggle being fixed and keeping peace between other countries and things like that. From the Democratic Party, I don't really get that. I get the other side of bankrupting us even more and trying to give out more and aiding, enabling people in the aspect of um, not having them provide for themselves or be more self-sufficient than what they are. The Democratic Party reminds me of a group of people that theoretically, at the end of the day, are trying to destroy the very nucleus of what a family is supposed to be. They'd rather see fathers divided from their family and mothers on assistance trying to live off of the government as much as possible and alienating minority fathers and making them feel like they're almost nothing based on statistics and stereotypes that are built by social media and Jewish media and stuff like that. So it's a cycle that just continues and continues and continues. Um, and when you look at the statistics of where everything's at, a lot of the Planned Parenthood stuff, a lot of very like the low income areas have more fast food restaurants and stuff around, a lot of unhealthy food places and stuff. There's a reason for all that. When you look at the history of the minority community and like the red light districts and everything else, this was not a conservative thing. This was more of a liberal democratic thing. And it was a way for them to actually control the population of the black people because they actually felt that black people were a less than or inferior product of the human race. And when you look at the history of it and you watch and you see what happened and why Margaret Sanger and everybody else was doing what they were doing, Planned Parenthood being birthed, and the Seventh day Adventists and stuff back in the day when they were trying to make men become more abstinent and not have sexual desires and stuff like that, you can go back through the history of everything and you can follow the actual trail of where everything started to come from, and you can see that this was never really a conservative thing. This was something that was birthed specifically by people that would have fit into, maybe they weren't labeled as the liberal or democratic party, but it was birthed by um, people that had looked more like liberals and democrats than anything else. And you you could go all the way back to the Kellogg boys and stuff, and how Kellogg worked with the Seventh Day Adventists back in the day. They wanted their own hospitals, they wanted their own churches, they wanted their own cult like atmospheres and stuff back in the day. And it was all about controlling birth and controlling men's sexual urges and them not wanting to. There's a whole history to all this, and then it kind of evolved into more and looking at the minority community and stuff like that, and then saying, we have to keep these Planned Parenthood facilities and stuff more around their communities. The fast food restaurants aren't healthy, but they're cheap, or they can be cheap. So we'll put them around their communities and stuff, and we'll keep them unhealthy. We'll give them options to go ahead and just abort as much as possible, and we will just make them feel less than they actually are. And if we say it enough and we put it out on social media enough, then they're actually going to believe it enough. And what ends up happening is now it becomes a racist, prejudice stereotype that's built and basically um, laddered by social media and the Democratic Liberal Party. And then now it becomes a talking point 100 years later. So they have succeeded in their goal, and now we've achieved exactly what we set out to achieve, looking forward on what they wanted. It's a type of control, and that's exactly what's going on. So And then you can move forward from that when you control a crowd of people, when you control the minority community, when you can keep people divided and you can keep people attacking each other and stuff like that, and you could keep bringing up racism and prejudice and all this other stuff, then what else can we do? There's other things that we can do. We can start attacking people's food and agriculture and putting nasty things into their body to make their hormones out of whack. People that used to be super healthy, they could pretty much eat whatever they wanted. Now you got allergies and stuff that we never really had in abundance before. So there's a whole train of, there's a whole filing and series of these events that have led up to where we're at today, and the corruption from corporate greed and how they bought out medical industries and politicians and organizations, and how our food's force grown and growth hormones, and the sponsorships that these corporations give the medical industry, so they'll recommend this drug over that drug and this over that, and they try to push more abortions in this area. There's a whole there's a whole scheme that comes from greedy corporate America that nobody pays attention to, and it's run by very, very large companies that control everything. And most of you, unfortunately, and I mean no disrespect, most of you will never actually understand or even begin to comprehend exactly what's going on at that level, to see what's actually going on in the world. And it's not the politicians so much that's controlling everything, it's the people that are feeding them money to have them do exactly what they want them to do. I mean, that's what they're doing now. You know, it's mini stroke. What's that? I mean, one of the things that opened my eyes the most was, at one point in time we were talking about timelines and history of stuff. People were like, "What do you think about, you know, back in the day, you used to go to the dentist and they would recommend Colgate was the recommended product. Well, then Crest comes along or whatever it was back in the day and feeds them a couple $1 million into their industry, which was a lot of money back then. And then all of a sudden, the recommendation is not Colgate anymore; it's Crest. It's which one was better? I mean, same potato, potato, right? Tomato, tomato. But at the same time, it's who could push more to the public to make people buy more that would ultimately make the corporations more money. So that's like somebody coming up to me and saying, um, "Hey, I'm going to give you $10,000 to do this review on this product, this automotive product, and I want you to just recommend our product at least for 2 or 3 months. And this $10,000 will hold you over. And don't do anything else. Don't recommend any of these other automotive products, because this right here should hold you over for a while until we come out with the next product, and that one won't be thought of anymore. And because your following is so large, you're going to make all this money, not only from your reviews but from the product, from us as well. But then a couple months down the road, all that's going to be gone, and we'll just focus on the next product." That's how these corporations see this as well. It's all about money. At the end of the day, it's all about money. And then some people have so much money, they're not even worried about the money anymore. It's how much can they actually control you. Money is, I would say, second or third. What's number one is how much control do I have? How much can I actually control a population of people? How much can I actually make this call and see it affect everybody in the nation? It's a control thing. Money, people, there are people out there that have so much money they don't even know what to do with it. They're not even happy anymore. They have so much money. It's how much they can actually control society. It becomes a game. Just like aspartame, the scientists all said it was bad. Ron Reagan's outgoing FDA guy approved it. So, exactly. So let's go back. Let's go back to that. Just that's a talking point that we could talk about here as well. Back in the '80s, they did testing on aspartame, and they said that um, this aspartame could kill people. It has cancer and all this other. It could cause cancer and all this other stuff. And they gave like lab rats like 6 to 9 times the amount of aspartame that the average person could consume in one day. And when the testing was done, they deemed it not healthy for people. But when you actually gave the right amount that a human being would consume in one day, and then looked at the testing and the studies, there was no ill effect to it. There was no increase in blood sugar or insulin secretion or anything like that. What would end up happening, though, is some people would become more addicted to it because it was tasting sweeter overall, but it was not. It did not have that ill effect or that um, basically inflammation type response in the body to make the body increase in sugar and insulin and all of a sudden overwork itself trying to pull the sugar down. And a lot of people are like, well, insulin's job is to reduce the amount or lower your sugar. Well, it is, but it's not. It's like a shuttle mechanism. And when you actually look at how the body works and stuff like that, we explain things incorrectly. It's your body, before you even put food in your mouth, is already thinking about increasing its insulin levels and preparing for a hormone spike because it has to process food. So, regardless if it's sweet or not, if you're ingesting something or putting something in your mouth, your body's already starting to kind of prepare for what's about to happen because it knows you're about to eat. So, we have a lot of things that we explain to people that are kind of flawed. So, back in the 80s, you brought up aspartame, and Reagan's guy on the way out approved of it. Well, still to this day, they've never found anybody that has actually had any ill effect from aspartame or died for it or got cancer from it or anything. We have a few studies out there where some doctors say some things and then all of a sudden people ran with it. And they were like, oh, it's diet soda, it's so bad for you, it's so bad for you. It's it probably in some instance is bad for you because it's not water. It's not something natural that can actually nourish the body. But to say that something that's predominantly water is bad for you, um, I don't really agree with that too much. The reason I don't agree with that is because most of it is water with some carbonation, and it's got some syrup base to it that is not blood sugar spiking per se. And sure, it's not the healthiest, but it's actually not what people make it out to be either. There's been plenty of studies that have actually disproved that aspartame is bad for the body. But people don't know how to go to PubMed and actually look up the studies, follow through it, follow the chain of the links underneath, and then follow at the end where it actually says who paid for and who published and who submitted and who was actually involved in all this. And then you're like, oh man, look at this down here. This company down here is like, when you actually research the company's name and you see the affiliate companies of it, they're cholesterol companies that are trying to prove that this does this to the and then you're like, oh, they're trying to sell drugs, or they're trying to sell this, or no wonder why they're involved in this study. But people don't do that kind of research. They don't look into all that stuff. Should I cook the cat meat in with the ramen noodles? Oh, you god. Oh, that's sick. Eat organic, eat local, fasting, and stay away from processed and non-stick. Yeah, yeah, I guess there's 1,000 different things that can kill somebody or make them sick. What I do is I I love meat, and I've lost the most amount of weight and felt the best off of eating good quality meat, and that's what I've been doing for the last 4 days now, and I feel great. My skin has been looking better and better, and I feel like I've got more energy during the day. A little bit stressed and stuff because of work and everything else that's going on, But it's very simple when you don't have to worry about eating sugar and carbs and starches and everything else. And I'll just fry up some ground beef and put a little real grass-fed butter or something on it, a little salt and pepper, and I'm just as happy can be. Or yeah, some real big eggs, real runny yolk, a lot of vitamins, superfood. I just got back on the carnivore diet, so I'm hoping I can stick with it. Don't do seed oils. Yeah, seed oils are inflammatory. Seed oils and stuff in general. Vegetable oils are junk. Seed oils are junk. Any kind of highly processed oils and stuff they're they're really not that great. Yeah, I'm pretty much right with you, Peter. I do the same thing. Probiotics. Oh, I guess you could drink some of that probiotic drink stuff. I don't. Atkins diet, all meat. That wasn't the Atkins diet. And a lot of people say that Adkins died from his diet, and he didn't. He actually was something like he fell and hit his head or something like that, and it killed him or whatever. It wasn't his diet that killed him. He was actually really healthy. No, no dairy or grains. Real, like if it's like a heavy cream or something, I can do that because it's more natural. It has less sugar and stuff in it. Um, but if it's like a processed, like a really highly refined processed milk, I can drink it right now, and then tomorrow morning when I wake up, my head is pounding because of my body's reaction to the sugar and stuff that's in it and how it's been processed and refined. Maybe if it was like raw milk, it would be different. But the stuff that we get from the store, if I drink it the next day, I get a really bad headache and stuff now. Like I'm almost like having a reaction to that dairy that's been highly processed and stuff like that. It just doesn't sit well with me. Um, so I don't do very good with just regular milk. If it's a heavy cream real milk that hasn't been all the process and stuff like that, oh, I love it. My body, I don't have any reaction, no headache, no nothing. And then grains, I don't do any grains. There was no reason for me to do any grains. Some people are healthy and stuff, and they can do that all they want. But no, grains for me it's a no go. Grains just cause me to bloat, and I just, yeah, I don't like them. Yeah, no soy. Men, we already have a problem. We already have a big enough problem as it is with producing estrogen more in the evening time, and that's why they say that men should be focused more on eating cruciferous vegetables in the evening time because it helps block some of that estrogen production with the healthier vegetables if you are a vegetable eater. Um, I take an estrogen blocker as it is just because I don't want the stuff elevated in my body at all. Nope, I don't do any alcohol really at all unless I eat good fiber. Yeah, I don't really do that either. The carnivore diet, there is no fiber, so you're not eating breads, fibers, rices, or any of that. I did that for an entire year, and I had no medical problems at all. My cholesterol was absolutely phenomenal. The doctor was like, "What are you eating?" And I said, "Well, I eat heart, organ, kidney, liver, um, any type of fat that comes from an animal or meat, and I get plenty of the vitamins and stuff I need from all that. So I don't really have a problem." And if I need a supplement, I might take like a liver supplement that has the vitamin C and everything in it that I need, so I don't have to eat all the sugars and grains and fibers and stuff like that that your body takes longer to process anyway. No, Preston, no steel cutouts. I mean, if Ryan, if you actually go back to like what I was talking about earlier, and you might know this already, but I'm just using your comment. If you actually go back to the Seventh Day Adventists and Margaret Sanger, um, and the kind of cult that they built, I think it was Margaret Sanger. Maybe it was Margaret Sanger or Margaret somebody. Margaret Sanger, I'm pretty sure it was, with the Seventh Day Adventists and Robert Kellogg. You'll see that there's stories of the men wanting to be, or the young boys being sexually attracted to women and stuff like that. And the Seventh Day Adventist group that they were building and putting together and stuff like that, they didn't really want that type of stuff to happen with the boys. And through research and stuff like that, and one of the boys ended up growing up and kind of becoming a doctor, they noticed that through manipulation of grains and making the cereal based type cereal, they could give it to the patients in the hospital, and they could give it to the men and stuff like that, and it would cause them to become more abstained from wanting to be sexually active or aroused towards women or something like that. So it was a way for them to actually control men to not advance to women or make poor decisions or keep their mind out of the gutter or something like that. So they used it as a food to control people if you look way, 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 way back. You speak, but I don't feel any intellectual thoughts. Well, Joel, I'm sorry about that. This might not be the group for you. You might want to just leave if that's the case. That's all. Yeah, when I was in the military, 5'10", 215 pounds. I'm 215, 220, solid, man, solid, solid. Run like the wind. Push ups, sit ups, didn't matter. Pull ups, chin ups, and they still were telling me that I didn't meet height weight requirements. So I would score super high on the PT test in order to stay out of it, and then they would tape my neck, and they were like, "Oh, if I tape your neck and then you score really high on the PT test, you pass." So that's the only thing that kept me in the military, because I was always a big dude, and when you're a big dude, big strong swole guy, you ain't gonna pass no uh, test. They'll call you obese even though you're not. Yeah, I'm still having employee problems. Look at this guy right here. Gutter mouth, don't drown your food. What do you mean? Gutter mouth, don't drown your food. What is this? I don't know. You guys keep up with what's going on. I can't keep up with everything. Drinking too much milk? I don't know if it'll do the same as what grains will, but it's just the amount of sugar that's in it is not. Milk was never milk was never developed or put on this earth. If you think about the reason why God gave, or it's natural for human beings and animals to feed milk to other beings, it's to grow them and to nurture them. It's because there's sugars and vitamins and stuff and everything to actually put weight on people's bodies to help them become healthy and grow. But after those animals and stuff have weaned off of the nipple and stuff, they leave. They never go back. They don't go back to drinking milk or anything like that. And as human beings, it was, you would think because of creation and stuff like that, it would be the same with us. But we're like the only species of something living that actually goes back and drinks the same milk that came from an animal or something like that, and there's nothing else that does. So some people think that continuing to drink milk from an animal, even though they produce it, is kind of unnatural because that's not what it was intended for. I can't stand oat milk or soy milk or almond milk, or maybe almond milk a little bit if I was really, really, really thirsty or wanted some in my coffee, but I cannot stand that stuff. Coconut milk I can do a little bit more. Wow, A1C is bad. Yeah, 9 is bad. Oh yeah, they're pouring in. Yeah, we do. Horchata is so delicious. Yeah. I mean, I'm not telling people to go out and stop drinking milk, but what I'm saying is, theoretically, we do things kind of backwards as human beings, and you guys know that. Um, Milk was never supposed to be something that was continued in our diet. You got off the tit, and then you went to, other things, water and juices and stuff like that, or whatever it may be. I love milk. I love the taste of milk. I I wish I could drink it every single day, but I drink milk and it bloats me. It puts weight on my body really really fast, and then the next day after I drink it, I feel terrible. And if you drink a glass of milk before you, let's say like you go to bed right now, you drank milk, you brush your teeth, you go to bed, you wake up in the morning, and it's like a cat shit in your mouth, like because of how the dairy is being processed and churned around and everything else. And I've drank milk before I went to bed before, and then wake up the next day, and it's like, fuck, it's terrible. Rich enjoyed your presence on Changing the Industry was a real story. Sucks you grew up in such a way, but thanks. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's my story, man. I gotta own up to it, and uh, it's just, I'm hoping my story will help other people get through their struggles and stuff as well. Yeah, tomorrow at City Hall, 10 a.m., second floor, vitamin D. Vitamin D in milk. There's not a ton of vitamin D that your body actually uses that's in dairy in general, like from like milk, I should say. Um, some, but not like what people need. So you wouldn't be able to really drink enough milk to sustain a certain level of vitamin D that's actually healthy. You have to be out in the sun or taking a supplement, or they say that like 60 to 70% of the people in the United States, the reason why they don't have healthy lifestyles is part of it is because of hormone and vitamin D deficiency, which vitamin D and cholesterol are two of the main precursors or initiating factors for certain hormone production and healthy living. So, if there was a guy years ago I was listening to on the radio, and he said if you look at people from, let's just say, the equator south a little or north a little, those people typically don't tend to be overweight. They tend to be out in the sun a lot, sweating a lot of vitamin D and stuff like that. But once you start getting up towards like the Louisiana area, U.S. Mexico border area, north, and then even further, you start to see more and more and more and more unhealthy people. Less and less and less and less sun exposure, less and less and less direct, uh, contact and stuff, and more gloomy during specific times of the year as you get more north. And it creates a higher level of depression and anxiety and unhealthy habits and stuff. There's this guy was talking about this whole series of how you look at people live and the locations of where they live and their lifestyles is very important. Yeah, don't do the in and out of McDonald's. I take vitamin D supplements too. I take vitamin D and K2. The doctor was me. I was talking to the doctor, and the doctor was like, okay, here's your vitamin D. Your vitamin D's low, so Take it in the morning with your coffee, and I'm thinking to myself, well, my coffee. Why would I take my vitamin D in the morning with my coffee? It's a fat soluble vitamin. What you're telling me right now doesn't make any sense. It's a fat soluble vitamin. There's an acronym. It's called ADEK. 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 Vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K. All of those are fat soluble vitamins that should be taken with a meal with some type of fat, like a olive oil salad or a fatty steak or something like that, because that's what actually helps you absorb the vitamin D. It's what helps your body process it naturally. So why would you tell me to take vitamin D or vitamin K or E or A with something that's not fat like a fatty meal of some sort or a lightly olive oil salad or something? Doesn't make any sense. And my mechanic at work that I was working with, we were in the locker room and he had some medical problems. His wife had some medical problems and she's on vitamin D supplement. And he said, Rich, you were saying something about taking vitamin D a specific way. And I said, yeah, I do. I take vitamin D with my dinner at night. It's a fatty meal, or in the morning with a big shot of straight heavy whipping cream, the heaviest heavy whipping cream I can find with the highest fat content. And I'll take that with a little shot, you know, and that's how I take my vitamins. I don't take it with just straight water or juice or any of that stuff because it doesn't do anything. And he was like, man, my wife drinks it with black coffee every morning, and the doctor never corrected her with how she's supposed to be taking her vitamin D. So my vitamin D is up now, and the way I take it is perfect. Oh, Ozempic pen. Yeah, they tried that with me, and the first month it worked, and I realized after that I was like, I don't feel anything. I kept going up with the doses and stuff like they say you're supposed to do. I didn't feel nothing that I really liked. And then all the urges and stuff started coming back, and the doctor said that's normal. Sometimes it will work for people, sometimes it won't. It's not for everybody. So I realized it was uh, not for me. Vitamin D should be taken with vitamin K2. Yep. I take my vitamin D3 with K2. It's the MK7 formula. Kind of stays in your system a little bit longer. Kind of builds up a little bit more. So yeah, that's what I do as well. You can't gain weight. I'll give you some of mine. That stuff is hard to get now, and it's becoming absolutely freaking outrageous. It's like it's a Dorley. It's a pen that um, you can change out like the needle tips of it, and you can give yourself a daily injection. It's supposed to help curb your appetite and stuff like that, and help keep you under control, and you have less urges too. In the first month, I felt great. It, I felt absolutely great, and then it just didn't do anything for me anymore. The higher the dose went, it wasn't doing anything. Carmen, I'm not liberal. You ain't gotta say that. It's all right. Even if you were, it's all right. There's plenty of liberal people here that are gonna vote conservative next election, but deep down they are liberal or Democrat. That's okay. I accept everybody. I don't bumping bellies. Yeah, I appreciate you too. Thank you. Yeah. Yep. Exactly what Bell said. This stuff went through the freaking roof now. And then the insurance that I think my old lady was on it. She no, I haven't found a check yet. Um I got a guy right now that hmm, let's see what that comment was. Oh, okay. Um what was I saying? Yeah, she was on it and the doctor was like the insurance was covering it and then it went up again in price and the insurance was like, no, not happening. Yeah, anyway. So if you guys are from Chicago and you are able to go to the meeting tomorrow at City Hall, second floor, 10 a.m. Be there a little bit early. So if in case you want to speak, you want to sign up. Um, and it is the ninth district, the 15th district, and the 17th district aldermen all going to be, I think, talking about whether or not Chicago should stay a sanctuary state. My shop is Brighton Automotive. It's off of, it's close to Archer in California. Brighton Automotive, YP. You think you're going to buy a tractor? What are you going to do with a tractor? Okay, so the update on Anthony is I spoke to Anthony today. He's still doing good. He's clean. He has not went back to using. He is in a very, very good place with positive thoughts and stuff like that. Um, he's been writing things down. He tried to go to an NA meeting tonight, but the location that he went to was not, they're not doing NA meetings anymore, so he had to turn around and go back to his place where he stays. Um, and he is doing very well. I think he brought up the fact that he was like, "You're really serious about if I wanted like a part-time job or something, you would hire me?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely, man. Um, if I could find somebody that communicates as well as you do when you text and you write things down, you're extremely smart. I would love to have somebody like you working for me because if you can do that on paper and those words can come out of your mouth very educated like they do, you're a smart man. I think you would be very good talking to customers. I think you would be very good dealing with repair orders and doing computer work and stuff and getting the customers on the phone, keeping them informed on the status of where their vehicle's at during the repair and stuff. I'd love to have somebody like you that speaks and types as well as you do talking to people. He's a smart guy. And I could tell that about him that he has a lot of talent there that he can share with other people and he's got a lot of wisdom and he's got a lot of a lot to offer people. He's got to get back out there and be given the chance to do it. So my next goal is to hire him part time working for me. Yeah, invalid account. You're right, and that's why I told him. I said, man, I believe in you. I care about you. I don't want to see you fail. We're here. There's thousands of people that are here following you. They want the best for you. I took all the money that you guys donated on that video for the super chats that you donated, and I actually gave it to Anthony. Somebody donated like $50. There was a couple people that donated like $20, $10, $5. I took that money and I actually cashed apped it to Anthony, so he could have it to eat off of because he's been doing so well, and he hasn't been using. So I was like, I want to give him a little bit more money, so he can make sure that he's got the little necessities and stuff that he needs and keep checking on him every week. And if he stays clean long enough and and he starts to feel comfortable being back in a working environment making money, then I'm going to hire him. I mean, MDJ, what did you say, Hal Robinson? He's high right now? Why would you say something like that? Republic of Islamic Emirates, America. I mean, if the way you worship is the way other Middle Eastern people worship, you will swear that um, if people don't believe in the same religion as you, because it's your duty to say so, that all people must perish if they won't convert. So why would anybody want to believe in anything that you're saying right now when you say things like that that sound or believe in something so ridiculous? I mean, I don't understand that. How can any religion tell somebody else that you are to die if you don't convert? You are to be persecuted if you don't convert. How can any religion that is an actual religion that's of love and nurturing and growth come from somebody saying, if you don't believe in what I believe in and you won't confess and bow your head to my God, then you don't deserve to have breath in your body? It doesn't make any sense to me. That's not a religion that I want to be part of. So you're an American Israeli. Okay, I respect that. But are you telling me that I should believe in what you believe in? I mean, you're trying to tell us how to live our life right now because of something that you believe in. And you think that's going to change anything on this live stream right now by saying you need to do things my way. This is how it has to be, and this is what I've got all figured out, and this is Bible. This is going to happen. This is the only way. Sometimes people got to do things because they can't wait long enough for things to fall apart. Sometimes God's plan is to put us in the place of where we have to make those decisions and not wait for other people to make those decisions for us. Plant-based diet, Dr. Siva's book. No. No, Brian, you want to see an angry person that's livid every single day? Put me on a plant-based diet and see what happens. No. I'll strangle every plant out there. No, I'm not happening. Not doing it. Uh-oh, Robert. Robert. Slaying it. Always dropping it. Thanks, Robert. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you, Robert, and thank you to Quick Wrench. I appreciate that. You're right. No man can make things like God does, and that's why when I pray, I tell him I'm not worthy. I am not worthy of your love, but you give it to me anyway, and I don't deserve that. Brian, don't start with that. Everything in our body is made from amino acids and fatty acids. There's nothing that's made from fiber. There's nothing that's made from any specific type of vitamin. It's our entire body is literally made up of water, fat, and protein, amino acids and fatty acids. Just stop. What you're saying is ridiculous. We're not going to have this vegan, you know, talk right now. There's a reason why there's specific things in the actual Bible that talk about nourishing from this but not that, eating this type of animal but not that type of animal, don't eat these insects but eat this. Tatted and gatted. I love that. Yeah, I mean, you said something about Anthony, sharing something with Anthony. All you got to do is, I'll tell Anthony to jump on this live stream tomorrow and leave some comments in the comment section, and you guys can go back tomorrow and check the comments, and I'll let him know, hey man, they're wanting to hear about your donation or something like that. I can actually give you guys some screenshots as well if you want proof of. I don't mind giving receipts of me actually sending Anthony the money. The problem is how it gets sent means I have to pay taxes on it. So understand first and foremost that I'm paying taxes on money that you're giving to this man. That's the only way I know how to do it right now. But sometimes it can be a little unfair to me as the donator because not only am I donating my time and my money and my resources, you guys are donating your money to him, but then I'm having to pay taxes on that money that's given to him because it's coming through this channel. You will very soon. Where I'm gonna go out there this weekend and actually meet with him. Well, they used to say that about eggs, but actually they're not. They've already changed that now. They actually admit in doctors' offices and stuff now when you watch the screens where it has health facts and stuff now, and actually on the walls, they tell you that the fat and cholesterol and stuff in eggs is actually some of the most healthiest fat and cholesterol you can actually put in your body. Eggs is now considered actually a superfood, and it's got like selenium and certain amount of all different types of minerals that other foods and stuff don't have. It does have, and now they're telling you you can pretty much eat as many as you want, and they don't have an ill effect on your body at all. It actually is a very great building block. You I always offer vegans to come eat my grass clippings. Oh God, they always say no. Very few say thank you. Oh, you're welcome, John. Yeah, but you're not gonna find a lot of that bad trans fat and stuff in natural foods, though, Alma. So it's not like something you have to really worry about. The food pyramid is a lie. It has no facts. Absolutely, it's a lie. It has no facts. It actually needs to be flipped upside down. The stuff on the bottom that says you need the least of, you need the most of. Or the stuff on the top where it says you need the least of should be on the bottom, and the stuff that's on the bottom should be on the top because it's completely backwards. And then a lot of it doesn't even need to be there. But then what was it years ago? the Canadian food plate changed to where it was like 40 to 50% grains or something like that. I'm thinking to myself, what are these people trying to do? Kill these people? Holy crap, man. They changed the whole way their food plate was designed and what was supposed to be healthy and what it looked like. I'm like, I think Canada is worse than the United States in some aspects. Camera, this is an S21 Ultra, probably with a dirty lens, if that's why you're asking. It cleared up a little bit. Stan, South Park called a lot of things, though, years ago. S23. No, is it S21? What's the newest one? It's S23 Ultra. Is it that 23 or the 21? Somebody help me out here. It's the newest one. It's got the three cameras on the back and then it's got the two things and it's. I've had S23. Okay. It's been out for like a year and a half, 2 years now. Is that, am I saying it right? Is it the S23? Yeah. So what's up, Cheap Rollin'? About to get off of here soon. Getting tired. It's 11 o'clock at night, so. No, then it's this is the S. Is it this? I don't know what the heck this thing is, man. Yeah, because of what is that? Invalid account, like Lyme disease or something? The Black Friday sale was a joke. There was like nothing on sale. It wasn't even worth it buying anything unless you caught some online stuff. It says, what is it? The S23 Ultra is. I think this is the S23 Ultra. Yeah, it came out this year. If I only had this phone for a year, or maybe. No. Maybe it is S21. Maybe I need to go get a new one. But it was like, I think at the time, 40 megapixel front facing camera and like 105 or 110 megapixel regular camera. And then I put it next to the newest iPhone at the time and I zoomed in all the way across the store and the iPhone stopped at like 50 times where the S21 Ultra went like 100 times all the way to the other side of the store. And I could read everything with the S21 where I could not with the newer iPhone. I'm tired, guys. It's 11 o'clock at night and there's 236 people here with me. Let's go to bed. Let's go to bed. Let's get off here and go to bed, and I'll try to be on a little bit earlier tomorrow night. What is this guy saying? I want to see what this message is. Internet brain zombies. Comfortably numb. Whenever you say Guys, whenever you say swear words, YouTube automatically holds it. They will not. I will. Good night. I appreciate it, everybody. Thanks for being here. All 221 of you. There was 330 at one point. I hope I have more information tomorrow about what's going on, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming by and seeing me at my business. Thank you for stopping in the last couple days and supporting me, dropping your cars off for service and stuff like that. There's a lot of new faces, and I really appreciate you. Salute to you too, Michael Davis. I appreciate you. Sweet dreams, everybody. Big old hug. Are you gonna take me out? You guys you and Cobra Kai, you guys gonna take me down to the border, show me around? I mean, I'll come down there, man. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to it. Uh, Big hugs, everybody. Sleep well. Think about that. You guys think about that. Are you gonna dedicate the time to get me where I need to be if I come down there? Think about that. All right, guys. We'll talk tomorrow. Please hit that thumbs up button if you watch this video. Appreciate you. See ya.